Okay, so I've been asked to work with, I mean, this is something you guys are just doing just for gratis, right? I mean, when we, I pizza or something, I'll bring in something for you, but I'm using instructional time to do this, so it's kind of a no-no, but I think what I'm interested in.
I'll make a pizza.
Yeah, you can make a bacon pizza, yeah. So, okay, I'm going to ask you a few questions about, I don't really want to be in this, but I'm going to try, can we all kind of move over, can we all move over this way, just for a few minutes? You guys are my focus group. Yeah, excellent. Excellent, excellent.
Back to where I was at. Is there extra credit?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
For this? Absolutely. Yeah. And yeah. Believe me, I don't want to be in this either. You don't want to see me in this. Yeah. All right, everybody, come make it like a over here, little half circle kind of thing. Yeah, kind of bring it around this way. Oh, no, not you. Okay, everybody over here. Yeah, yeah. Squeeze it in. You in there. Yeah. Everybody. Okay. I got Zach. I don't get anybody else. Okay, so maybe I can just kind of pan around.
Do I need to bring my stuff?
Nah, just bring yourself. Bring your brain.
Oh, hell no, he is not.
I'll start with that. Be civil. Okay, so bring a couple of chairs over this way too, and I'll pan over on you guys. There we are. Good, good. Everybody smile. Don't trip over the tripod. Yeah. Oh, it's filming us right now. I thought I had it on pause.
Wow.
Okay, well good. That's okay. Oh, this is fun. Okay, so this is my class. Say hello, class.
Hello.
Good, 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 good. This is an English class, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. How many of you guys took the placement test before you enrolled in this class? Raise your hand high in the sky if you took the placement test. Okay. What did you think about the placement test? Don't all talk at once. Give me your impressions of the placement test.
It was all right.
I don't think it really measured my ability to write
Why not?
because it was just like questions about grammar and stuff.
Grammar doesn't help you become a better
But
writer.
I don't know, it was just, I'm not good at those kind of tests. I don't know, I never was in high school either.
So yeah, I was going to ask, you guys took a lot of tests in high school too, right?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you were prepared for the placement test?
You know, it's been a while since we took like the math. I mean, it's when we've done this type of math, so yeah, I mean, it's okay. I think the placement tests, you know, they do have the pros and cons, but the pros is that it's good because you know you get to go back to the basics and learn, relearn all of the steps again in order to be prepared for a class that you really want to take.
So it's useful in a way.
It's
It
useful
has
in a
its
way.
function.
Yeah.
Okay. How did you prepare for the test?
Did.
I didn't.
Didn't prepare for it? Now, why not? What did you hear? I mean, it wasn't like taking the SAT. It wasn't like taking, over at UC or CSU, taking one of their so why did you prepare for this one?
It's like the ones you took, like the CASI and like the STAR testing that you took in like sophomore year. Like that's what it was like. There's no really, I mean, besides looking at samples, which I don't think any of us thought to do before we took it.
Did anybody look at samples?
I did, but they didn't have a whole lot.
Yeah.
I think that's what, I did look at them and they didn't have.
And Gabby, what did you say a little while ago about what was the advice? Yeah.
The suggestion is that if students are going to take the placement test, take them one at a time because I took all of them in one day.
Okay, raise your hand if you took them all at once. Did that wipe you out?
Yeah. What was it, like 45 questions or something?
Okay.
Well, the reason I didn't take it all in one day because that was the last day to take it. And you couldn't go back and take it, so that's why I take it all in one day.
Wow. Okay, so did you just learn about it late, or did you procrastinate a little bit, or did you kind of a little?
I knew about it, but I didn't know when like that sort of deadline. And
Yeah.
when I went, we were like, oh, today's the deadline, you have to take all the tests.
Yeah. So preparation, that's a big part of it. How did you manage your time when you took the test? If you took all three of them at once, how did you manage it? How did you juggle all three of those tests on the same day? Did you take a break between them? Did you just jam through?
Yes.
I
I
went
mean, I took my
straight
time
to
with the
sleep.
questions, then
I took a nap.
Yeah, there's only two.
After the English part, I took a quick nap because I was really bored.
A power nap.
Yeah, the power nap ended up being an hour.
You took a little nap between, okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So I guess there was a math. Did anybody ask you which math test you wanted to take?
Yes.
No, they just did it like how many you got right, and then you just went to the higher level if you got a certain amount right.
Okay.
So I did.
Okay, and then I know that there is a sentence skills and a reading comprehension part of the English one. Which order did you go in, and which did you find it tiring? Or, yeah.
What we're going to do first.
Yeah.
The reading comprehension was my last one,
Okay.
and towards then, I was already like, I was tired. I was like,
Yeah.
not tired, but I was like,
Well, I mean, I think there's a threshold when you take tests that you get to a certain point where you're thinking, okay, I'm full. I've given you everything I have here. So, okay. How did you feel when you got the results of your placement test?
I was bummed.
Happy.
I was just bummed.
I
Yeah.
like,
And it's weird because like here, you have to do that, but like since I went to Michigan State last semester, I didn't have to do that. I mean, they looked at my things from high school, my counselor was like, okay, take this class, and it was higher than this class. And I feel like I've already done this.
Yeah. Do you feel like you're repeating stuff you did in high school?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah, yeah. And you just be honest. I mean, it's all good. So a little bit bummed out when you got the results. Anything else about the placement test you want to? Anything, because we're trying to get students who are coming in after you guys to kind of be aware of what they should do for time management. Should you take all three at once? Should you prepare for it? Should you look at the samples? So you guys are kind of like advisors now. What would you? Yeah.
I would say for older students, people who haven't been in school, like I haven't been in like 6 years and trying to come back to school, you should study for the placement test. That's one thing you should do.
Absolutely.
If you have the opportunity to. I didn't study either. I went straight in. Oh, okay.
Were you surprised by the level and the range of questions on the placement test?
It wasn't a surprise. It was just a lot of things that, of course, I forgot over time.
Rusty, right? Yeah, yeah. Okay.
so a little, I mean, if they come in, if, for example, give them like, or even on your site, give them a heads up,
Yeah.
Suggestions.
Who do you think would be best to give the heads up? Or where should that message come from?
Email.
Email? Would you guys read an email?
Yes.
I read
We read
the-
I read all the basic emails.
You read my emails, right? Exactly. You got that right. Okay.
That's just kind of
Yeah. Okay, so if you got one from Student Services saying, hey, looks like you need to take the placement test, prep for this, prep for that, that would be something you'd look at. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry.
I feel like
Yeah.
by doing that, it would save a lot of time. If there was an option where the student center would be like, yo, test is coming up, this is like a little preparation. Because honestly, if I had an opportunity like that, I wouldn't be in a class like this. I would be, trying to finish up what I have to do right now, trying to transfer and whatnot.
I know.
I know for me, when I first started college, I didn't know a lot of things that school offered. A lot of the programs, a lot of different, like VSPS, all those things, different things. If I would have got like a pamphlet or some type of paper saying, what each area is good for, what things are there, that would have helped me out a lot. Because a lot of the things I had to learn from word of mouth and asking other students.
So would that pamphlet have been emailed to you by the snail mail or emailed or?
Registration, when you go to the register, it's just a little small 2-page pamphlet. telling
Good,
you a
okay.
little bit about each service or each areas to help.
Good. Yeah, so I guess that kind of ties in. I was going to ask you guys, if you were to advise students coming in, what would you advise them to do? And then what would you advise the institution to do as well? So I mean, we can always learn from our current practices. So how would you advise students?
Be prepared.
Be prepared.
Be prepared. Stay ahead.
Okay, stay ahead. And then what would you give advice to the institution itself, to the instructors and the counselors? What would you say?
Just more, let's have like a pamphlet
Okay.
saying like what each service here does,
Okay.
what each department is.
Okay. More info.
and maybe a description of like certain majors, so you can choose and really feel which one you think you may want to get into.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Gabby, say it again?
Oh, I said, don't they have that? Because I go and look and see what
We
classes.
had the descriptions of classes, not the
Yeah,
majors.
yeah, the description, but I'll say like something towards the major, what classes you're going to be, and basically where this major is going to take you. You don't have nothing to show you where it's going to take you. You're really just sitting and take a class, you know.
Let me ask you this follow-up question. Have you guys all filled out your ed plans?
Yes,
Everyone?
I think that's a requirement.
It's going to be fairly soon, if it, you know, maybe not a formal requirement, but there is something, something coming down from the state level that, to that effect, that, you know, the ed plan should be complete at the end of the first semester. So you guys all have ed plans? Should go, yeah, go down and get one. Go work with a counselor and get something set up. So that will give you an idea of what you want to major in and have, you know, what coursework you need to do that.
Oh, that.
That thing, yeah.
I need
That's the only,
Yeah.
like, that's the only thing how I found out everything, because I didn't even know when I first came to school to go see a counselor. So
Yeah.
I had to go see a counselor, so.
Yeah.
And then once I first knew that, I was like, okay, you know, I didn't know nothing. Okay, these are my classes, don't know
When I
counselor.
And that's kind of scary, isn't it, man? While you're just walking in cold, you know, after a few years off, that's a little bit nerve-wracking, I think, you know? Yeah. I'm sorry, Lindsay, go ahead. Come on.
Well, I was gonna say, like, when I went in there, they didn't help very much, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like every time I went
It's
out,
so
they just
crappy.
want to get you out of there as fast as they can.
Yeah.
And when you take the time, they like print out my pen and then send me out the place.
That's a really tough nut. We have a ratio on this campus, I think, of 14 or 1,500 students per counselor. And so, yeah, I mean, if you guys were feeling kind of radical about it, you could write to your legislators and talk about, you know, kind of increasing the amount of student services support that we have on the campuses, because that's a pretty punishing workload to have, you know, 1,400 students per counselor is a tough one. Yeah, Howie.
Are you guys talking about counselors?
Well, not necessarily. We're talking about the placement test.
Oh, the placement test?
Yeah.
Oh.
Pontificate.
Well, I think they put too much, like reliability on this one certain test, because there's a lot of smart people, you know, who are not, you know, good at taking tests.
Absolutely.
And by relying on the test, I mean, come on now, like, a lot of people could cheat on this test. I mean, it can, you know, there's always ways.
Of course, yeah.
And, you know, it's.
Not that anybody in
it's
this
not-
room would do that, but I mean, yeah.
Of course, but it's just the fact that I just don't understand why we have to, I just don't understand why we take so many courses just to finally take our classes that we want to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like English,
Absolutely.
math, science.
Yeah. The catch-up classes.
Yeah. Why is there so much of them? You know, it should be simple. To me, I feel like it's all complex and just thrown to us. I'm like, all right, take these classes.
Do you think a class like this should be shorter? Like 8 weeks or 10 weeks instead of 16 weeks?
Exactly, yeah.
No.
I mean, it's gonna be a little harder, it's gonna be a little harder,
It
but
ranges, because there's some of us in this class who don't need it.
Yeah.
And then there's people like me who really do want to stay here for the full 16 weeks to make sure I understand the materials.
Yeah.
Because it prepares you for the
Next course.
classes.
Right.
yeah.
That's the idea. So I mean, that's why, you know, we have the number of classes that we do that go below the transfer
Because
level.
we're not gonna, once you get to the higher level classes, you're not gonna be writing 300, 500 word pages.
but what if you're not good at tests though?
I mean.
Yeah, so that's,
Yeah, you're right.
You can be
There are
really good at
people
writing
who
and have to
are
take
not
this
very
class
good at
because you didn't do well on the placement test.
yeah, and that we hear a lot of that. So a lot of people said they were in AP classes in high school, et cetera, and
Yeah.
we're kind of surprised by the results
It's like,
of
why
their.
can't they just
Yeah.
go on of our grades in high school?
Like, that's exactly what she said. I mean, they should just see our history.
But if they were in AP classes, shouldn't they know that material or not necessarily?
No, not
It's
necessarily.
different, because I took AP American Lit, and
Yeah.
I know they offer that in this, American Lit, and it's higher than this class, right? And it's like, it's a lot of reading and responding to those books, but the placement test wasn't really, it was like paragraphs, but I didn't, like the STAR testing in high school, I did that fine, but it didn't determine really anything.
Mhm. A lot of tests.
This placement test is way too, like, it's not really the most reliable thing to take. I mean, it should be another method, seriously.
Such as?
Such as like looking through your history from high school.
So go with the transcripts,
Yeah.
like some people are saying?
Exactly.
Yeah. And,
Like other
I
colleges.
feel like it should be an option. If you want to purposely start in a lower class, like
Yeah.
for Eunice, you haven't been in school for like 6 years, so he has that option because he doesn't really know the materials
Yeah.
compared to some of us who are straight from high school, who still retain most of our information.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
So a little more flexibility in that part of the registration process.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because in high school, in junior year, I took pre-cal and I got a B, and then when I took the placement test for math, I surprisingly got really low, and I was like surprised.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell?
So I guess what we'd call that sort of a shock, right? A kind of a
Yeah,
culture
shock.
shock
Yeah.
between
Like
what
over
you,
the summer, like you, like what?
yeah.
You kind of forget the stuff.
Yeah.
that
And what you
still
think
did
you're
and you
learning
still
in
aren't
high
past
school.
that class.
Yeah. You are learning things in those classes, but somehow the placement test does not give that validation.
Yeah.
Right, I mean,
Yeah.
when I mean, for my English part, I got the results, and the results says I couldn't read, and I was like, that's, no.
No. Here I am.
Wait a second, yeah, I'm reading this right now, yeah, yeah.
I can read,
Yeah, yeah.
know my grammar.
Yeah,
Why
yeah.
did you give this to me?
Yeah. Christina, please continue.
What I was saying is that the placement test was before the summer, so you can still take it and everything in the room before somebody freshman year test.
Okay, so the advice is soon after you graduate from high school, if you can,
Okay.
come on over and take it while that stuff is still fresh in your mind.
Yeah.
Is that agreed upon advice? Is that kind of a yeah?
Yes.
All right. I'll show you like that. Everybody's saying yes, yeah. Eric, what do you think?
To be honest, I think the placement test had a lot of stupid questions. It really does. Like the questions was not from like, it was the same as high school, in high school general.
So they were or were not similar to the questions?
Oh, no, of course not.
Yeah.
Some of it was from like sophomore year, and I was like, what is like for our students? I forgot.
Okay. Grammar stuff that you forgot from
Oh, that
middle
stuff,
school?
yeah.
Yeah.
I think we should have a second shot. Like,
And it's-
if we would, like, say, if we would fail it, as we all did, I think we should have a second shot to replace the first one.
How much time would elapse between the first time you take it and the second time you take it?
Well, you do. You can
Maybe
retake
like a
it.
DMV test.
You can retake it.
Fresh in your mind.
No, because everyone makes
That's good.
mistakes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, half of us didn't even knew what the placement
Yeah.
test was, we just took it. Like me, for example, like
Yeah.
I just took the placement, like, oh, just another test, and boom, now this class.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying we should get prepared. Like there should be a lot of, oh, are you ready for a placement test or this? I didn't even know about the placement test as soon as I took it.
So who's gonna send you that message? Oh, are you prepared for the placement? How are you gonna get that?
The counselors
Okay.
or everyone
Okay.
or anybody that's in the.
It should be during your registration, be like, yo, you got a test to do. If you know,
Okay.
if you want to know what class you want to take, then.
And then let's go back to the idea. Okay, hold on, 1 minute. How much time should there be between the times that you take it?
However much
You guys
time.
can say it?
A week.
A week?
Yeah.
Okay. So Dr. Weekly, Lindsay,
I was
go.
gonna say, I think it should just, remember, go off of the high school thing, like, you already passed this class, go to this class, the next level, like it was in high school, you passed it, go to the next level. Even if it was, I mean, a long time ago, at the beginning of each class, they still refresh your memory and stuff, so,
Do you think that you are your own best judge of your ability?
yes.
Because I guarantee you, if we had a second shot, a lot of people would pass.
And the English question is like, if you want to go to this class, I think maybe you should like submit an essay. I mean, like they should have a prompt, write an essay. If you get a good grade, you can go to the next class. I
Mhm.
mean, or
Okay.
like the questions are like, well, I thought I was super good at grammar, and here I am, and all the answers look the same, and I'm like, what it.
Yeah, after a while, they all
I
start.
took IB English.
You took the International Baccalaureate?
Yeah.
You passed it?
Yeah.
That's interesting. So
What's
how'd you,
that?
International Baccalaureate is a college preparatory program offered at a few high schools in San Diego City,
Oh, yeah,
you know,
yeah.
San Diego High.
Is it like AP?
It's like AP, it's almost like a AP on steroids kind of thing. Yeah,
Why are you
yeah.
doing that?
Yeah.
Because of the placement test, that's why.
Okay. Twan, you want to go, say some more about that? So how'd you feel, okay, how'd you prepare for the placement test? You just kind of,
I did it. It was summertime. I aced my math test 450. No big deal. 100%. I just didn't feel like reading. It was so hot. I was like, I want to go home.
okay.
So,
All right, that was
Yeah,
it.
takes so freaking long.
That was it. And it takes,
Oh, yeah, and that's another problem, the test is way too long.
the test is way too long.
It's really long.
45
We lose focus,
students.
we're on like the 30th question,
Yeah.
and then it should just be simple, like 10 question on this, 10 question on that.
10 really super focused questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you have as
Well,
much
they
time
just
as you
shouldn't have
want.
them all.
It's not like it's time.
Yeah, that's true. And then we shouldn't have them at all?
I mean, for like people who want to, yeah, but if you don't want to, you shouldn't have to take
Yeah, it
it.
should be a
Should we take things like IB grades and AP scores and stuff like that? And
Of course, then why are we at high school then?
I know.
yeah.
okay.
Now, what's the point of taking AP class if you have to repeat it anyway?
Class lower than that.
Yes.
No, because like some university and like state, they require it, you know? Like the highest score you can get is like a 6, and some requires like a 5 to get accepted in.
Mhm.
Their school.
Yeah.
Yeah, like CSUs, they have to take a placement test.
It's
but
4 and above, right?
People wanna go out
Yeah.
of state,
It's
you don't
5.
have
Is
to.
it 5 and above?
Yeah, like it depends, like where you go.
Yeah.
Okay. What else, what other advice would you give to people that are getting ready to take the placement exam?
It's just a really sensitive topic, it's really,
Yeah, I mean, that you're not alone when you say that.
Because we take the math first, you're just like so overwhelmed, you know? And
Yeah.
by the time you get to the reading, it's just like he said, you just want to rush through it. Because that's how well, I mean, I probably should be here, you know, but I even score really low on here because of that. I just didn't like whatever.
Yeah.
You can retake it.
Can you?
There's a period.
That's 3 years, that's really long.
No.
Why would
No, because
No point of taking.
my math teacher said if you don't like your grade and you don't like how you're placed in this class, then go
Oh, yeah.
retake it.
You'd wait 3 years.
Yeah.
She just told me go now. She said
Also, at
go.
Miramar, the English teacher said, like, she told some kid, like, if he didn't think he should be in that class, he should go to the placement test and see if they could placement, put him in the English 101. Because I had English 48 last semester, and then some kid.
So someone challenged the placement.
Yeah, my math teacher goes, go to the counseling center, or not the counseling center, the testing place, and it's only an hour out of your day, go do it. And I don't think you had to wait 3 years, because it was like 6 weeks ago.
I did it.
You can challenge it.
I did the
You
math.
can do it.
I challenged the math and I passed.
You challenged the math?
So
So there is a way, not around the situation, but there is a response that you have, okay.
An
Okay.
option.
An option, exactly.
Just try to, don't rush into questions.
Don't rush.
Don't
I
rush,
mean,
take time.
just because of the placement test, you know, it's now it's gonna take our
Waste of
goal, our
money.
career, another 5 years. Like,
But
come on.
it's not so much of blame the test, blame yourself. Like, you're
But
supposed
why does
to-
it all depend on tests? It's very stupid. That's
Well,
not
you get
fair.
to-
It's not fair. It's only we're not gonna take the test.
Linda, say, bring yourself, you said?
Yeah, like.
What does that mean?
Not just blame the test, how it's hard, and
Yeah.
like things like this. Like, it's also think about yourself, like, you also have to, like, be, like, kind of like not study so much, but then kind of think about it that you are gonna need it in the future, because that's what, like, a high school teachers would always say, like, you are gonna need it somehow in the future. Think about it, you will, and everybody would just be like, oh, I don't think I'm gonna need this, and you know, you will, but you did need it, and then at the end, they're blaming other things instead of themselves.
So a self-awareness or goes back to kind of, are you your own best gauge of what your abilities are? If we took things like high school transcripts or,
And that goes back to what I was saying, like people like me who haven't been in school for like 6 years.
see, they're, yeah.
Like, you live the life, you do what you need to do. basic, uh, you know, basic grammar and basic, English.
Yeah, so setting structure, yeah.
Basically, so when taking that placement test, you know, of course, we were better known, like I was saying, when I first came to college, that was another thing. There wasn't a lot of things known. I didn't know there was a study practice test. I didn't know there was a, you know, there was things that helped me along, you know, say, hey, maybe you should take this study test before you take this you know, placement test.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe you should do this, these are the things you need to do. But all I knew was register, take that placement test, and go to class.
It's like a second rush, like, we're thinking rush.
So slow things down a little bit, be mindful. Just like that article I sent you guys about being mindful, be here now, be present at the moment.
Right.
Take it seriously, you know, and, okay. What else? Anything else? Rants and raves, advice?
All covered.
Thank you. That's good.